Welcome to the Seattle Investors Club podcast with Julie Clark and Joe Bauer, where we share the nuts and bolts of real estate investing from our 20-plus years in the industry. Sit back, relax, listen, and immediately take action. Are you ready? Here we go.
Welcome to the Nuts and Bolts of Real Estate Investing podcast. My name is Joe Bauer, and I'm here with my co-host, Julie Clark. Julie, how you doing today?
You know what, Joe? I am feeling so good today because I am in the Christmas spirit.
Are you?
We got our tree last night. We played holiday music all night. Actually, Katie recorded the whole thing on like some slow motion thing that I didn't know she was doing, so it was super cool.
Huh.
So I'm feeling rather good. The girls got straight A's.
Whoa.
They're here, so of course they're hitting me up for all kinds of stuff, thinking they're going to get something out of me for that. But I'm feeling good. What you up to?
Well, I was trying to get in the Christmas spirit too, and I couldn't get Alexa to play Christmas music for me. She just shut down, wouldn't work. So we need to remedy that. But I'm hanging out here in Enumclaw, and we're going to put up the tree actually today.
Who lives in Enumclaw?
Emily's parents are in Enumclaw.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
good spot. Is there any low cover snow or anything out that way?
So at Crystal, they started making snow, I think a few years ago, and that means they're open now, but it's pretty much like, skiing in the trees, the green trees.
Right. Gotcha. Yes, we are us Clarkies over here are anticipating and ready to rock, even considering would skip a day of school this last few days of school. If it dumped, we would be out of here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we shall all wait patiently together. And we put all our Alexas. My Alexa was working. That's how I was getting my Christmas music last night. So,
jeez, we'll have to stream yours through the computer to my computer or something.
Well, no. That's over my head. Sorry, Joe. Couldn't figure that one out. But I'm sure today we're going to have some fun streaming some good nuggets of info with our buddy Ruby Davis.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah. Hey, this has been a long time in the coming. One of my favorite people here, our friend Robert, we call him Ruby. You guys will figure that out on your own why later, but Ruby Davis, he's just a stud, and you guys are going to find out for yourselves today on the podcast all about Ruby and what he's up to. He is absolutely one of our favorite Skagit County Washington investors. I feel crazy because I had to say the word Washington so people would know where we're at, because we actually have people listening from all kinds of other states besides Washington at this point. So, hey, everybody, happy holidays and thanks for listening. Across this good old United States, we appreciate you very much. But I'll tell you what, not only is our buddy Ruby here a super stud and a Washington investor, like we've said here, he's reached rock star status in his community. But more so, we love him because he's just simply a great guy. And I hope you all get to meet him if you're over up here in Washington with us in 2020, if you haven't had the opportunity yet. Ruby is both an investor. He's the owner of RAD Homes and Properties, as well as a broker at Integris Real Estate. And just recently, he has started a new full-time job. Yeah, that's right. That is new dad to his little bundle of joy, Avery Joe. So we're super stoked to hear about that today, as well as all the real estate stuff. So personally, I can't wait to catch up with you today. My buddy, Ruby Davis, everybody. Hey.
Hey. Oh, you put a big smile on my face. Hey, ho, ho.
Hey, ho, ho. Yeah, so what's going on? Are you guys, how old is Avery Joe these days?
Avery Joe is 5.5 months, almost 6 months here at the end of December. We, let's see, she was born June 29th over the summer, and man, she is just a bundle of joy. The happiest kid I've ever seen.
Oh, my God. Super photogenic, to say the least.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. What stage is she at? Is she like rolling over and all that, or? sitting
Yeah,
up?
so she could sit up pretty good right now. She actually, let's see, she's not quite crawling. She's got like this Lincoln log roll where she'll just kind of roll in a circle. So we gotta be careful if she's up on the bed or something, changing a diaper. She might try to roll off. But other than that, she's not too mobile yet, but she is super photogenic, like you said.
Yes. Are you guys sleeping much?
I hate to say it. I sleep pretty good. Mama, on the other hand, up and down. But the baby likes to sleep right next to us. So I mean, I wake up when she wakes up, but it doesn't affect me as hard as it affects Mama. But I feel super bad, but I sleep decently.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna get your payback. Don't you worry
Oh,
about that. The tables will turn and you will be getting your payback on sleeping through the night. So
oh,
good
I know.
stuff, my friend. And I'm looking forward to see you. I know it's Christmas season or the holiday season, to be politically correct there. I know about, for myself, last week kicked into the party mode, and there are probably 2 to 3 parties a week from now through about December 21st. So I hope to see all you guys out there at one of them. Or actually, are you going to, by the time people hear this, this will all be past the holiday season probably, but are you going to the Fixated Party? Is that tomorrow night, I think? Because it's Tuesday right now. You going to that?
Yeah. So I had bought my tickets and I have to be in Vegas tomorrow night to check up on our properties down there with a
Sweetness.
couple good buddies.
Right on. Well, we can't wait. We'll talk about that today. Can't wait to hear about what's going on in Vegas. But Joe, why don't you kick us off and we'll get to the good details here with our buddy Ruby.
Heck yeah, guys. This is a fun one, I think. And actually, I wrote down even before we got on the call because I was like, what can I write down in the show notes about Ruby? And literally, Julie's talked a lot about how good a guy he is. And I wrote down Ruby's one of the coolest real estate investors you meet. And I truly do mean that. And you guys, anybody that has a chance to meet Ruby, you should definitely take it. And Ruby, we appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about your story. So the first question is, where did you grow up? How did you grow up? And how did that take you into real estate investing?
Oh, well, first off, thanks. That means a lot coming from you guys, my idols. I really appreciate that. So let's see. I grew up in a small town, just Siegel, north of Seattle, about an hour and a half. Nobody really knows where Siegel is at, so I'll just say it's close to Bellingham. People don't seem to know where that's at. But I grew up from a working class family where they were pretty, they worked hard. My dad, my mom, they ran their own business. They were own business owners. They fabricated parts for Boeing and Janicki and owned a machine shop business. So I grew up watching them run a business and be very profitable, and saw a lot of the ups and downs going up of, highs and lows in business, and kind of took that mentality and kind of figured my way out shortly after high school. But I grew up, riding dirt bikes, snowboarding, building BMX jumps in the backyard, swimming, just a super athletic kid. I played every sport: baseball, basketball, football, soccer, just whatever it is, I was involved in it, and super active in just the sports community.
How many bones have you broken?
Ironically, one bone. I've only broken one bone, and that was actually my elbow. I dislocated that in 2015 when I got hit by a dirt bike testing suspension for a company when I used to be a professional motocross racer.
Well, we want to hear about the professional motocross racing, so keep on going. Make sure that's in the story.
Yeah. So no, growing up more, I got super active in ATV motocross racing and dirt bikes more. I separated myself from the snowboarding and focused more on motocross racing. I raced up and down the West Coast, pretty much just winning quite a bit, not taking too many big spills to, obviously hurt myself. But I found myself in a position where we could either go back east and take the career a lot bigger. But life and being young, I realized the better route to go was obviously joining construction and working as a real estate investor. But like I said, I was really competitive in that motocross community. I had a pro. Let's see, I had won probably 3 or 4 pro championships in a row up here in Washington, and made a big name for myself just doing that.
Wow. And the fact that you with all the fame and the glory that comes along, I'm sure with that sort of thing, decided to put that aside to pursue, real estate and construction. And that's a pretty mature decision at that point. How old were you at that point?
So I started racing when I was 16, and I stopped racing when I was 22. So it was a pretty short career. But I made the decision when I had actually, right after I got hurt, I'd realized that, hey, this probably isn't the best way or the best route to go. There's money in it, but there's like, if we really want to make money and we really want to do something that we got to do, then we got to make some really big financial decisions. And at that point in my life, I was probably, I was pretty far in debt trying to chase a dream. And I had focused on that, racing more so than I did focus on like saving money and doing all this other stuff. Cause I was trying to chase a dream, but I woke up one day, I was like, this isn't it. I finished out the season and focused on the construction before I took on real estate investing.
Awesome. How did you do that?
So as far as, putting down, swinging a leg over the bike and setting that down, that was pretty hard, but I started working construction. I was working construction as I was racing to fund my addiction, I would say. And I was making, $33 to $50 an hour, working down in Seattle, anywhere from 40 to 80 hours a week. So, I mean, if you do the math on that, you can see how expensive racing was. But talking to everybody that I had worked with, they're like, man, you got to get out of this young. You got to stop. Construction's going to be hard on your body. But I was like, how can you walk away from the money? The money's super good. But I was starting to realize, I was spending time away from, my girlfriend at the time. And I was, not home, and I was working my life away. And I'd actually heard about real estate investing on the radio. And went to a couple seminars and, started learning more about real estate, reading books and, listening to podcasts, going to your guys' meetings and just networking before actually taking the full jump into the real estate investing.
Awesome. So what was, what encouraged you, or what was your influence to do your very first deal? And what was it? Did you do it on your own, or did you like hang around with somebody else for a while? Some people, they go work for some other, busy investor or experienced investor for a while. Some people, grab their first deal on their own, or partners, or what'd you do? And where was it?
Yeah. So I did it all on my own. I pretty much just jumped right in it. So like I said, I was working construction at the time, and I came into a slow part of the year, February 2016, and they said, hey, take a couple weeks off. And that couple weeks turned into 2 months. And so as I was, my income was super low at that point, just because of having 2 months off work. I had actually networked with enough people and had met agents, and agents were bringing me deals. And I had a connection with a specific agent, and he brought me a deal. We went and took a look at it, and super, super worried, but it was a REO bank-owned property, and we bought this property for, I don't know, a couple $100,000, and I had 2 weeks to close on it because it obviously is an all-cash offer. And we funded it using a hard money lender, but I remember coming to your guys' meeting and talking to you about the specific deal. And you had told me like, hey, just don't force the deal. You kind of gave me a little bit of mentorship on it. And, you gave me the confidence and Tarl actually was at that meeting too. So I actually got a chance to talk with Tarl about it. And it was kind of funny how the whole deal worked out, because he gave me all this information and really good knowledge. And I kind of didn't call him back for like months, because the deal was super hard and super stressful, being my first deal. And I kind of felt a little humiliated and definitely made some big rookie mistakes. But overall, just the education and the knowledge that I learned from that specific deal was.
Tell us more about it. So the first deal you got was a listed REO property?
Yeah, so it was a listed REO property we purchased off the MLS.
Where was it?
We were in Skagit County, so Mount Vernon.
This the one with the septic thing?
Yeah, so this was this is a good one. So this was the one with the septic. So I purchased
it with a hard money lender, though, right?
Yep, I funded it with a hard money lender. We, I don't know if we can name drop it, if that's cool.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm not name dropping, but I mean, like we funded it with Eastside Funding at the time, because they were 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the renovation. Even though their interest was a little bit higher, I only had so much cash to work with. So that was more enticing to me to go with them, just because of the lower down payment.
Do you remember how long the loan term was? Was it like 6 months or?
Yeah, so it was a 6 months. It was a 6-month term. And we ended up we extended twice. So that cost a couple extra points. And then we ended up refinancing out of that loan into another hard money lender, because I was running out of time with them. Right.
Just a little side note today, guys, that we recommend that you only get like 12-month loan terms for your hard money deals. That's kind of a general statement, but of course, our podcast here is sponsored by Certain Lending. It's just a good time for me to throw that out there. And what we love about Certain Lending is that, they'll review the deal for you in the situation. And if they're not the best lender for you, they'll tell you that. They'll give you a suggestion of who to talk to, or maybe if you don't even need hard money and you can go conventional on whatever deal that you're looking at. So we appreciate their honesty and, that their community love for all of us here at Seattle Investors Club. So shout out to Certain Lending. There's lots of good lenders in town. So, you guys will all do your own due diligence on that, but we're just curious to know how it all went down. It's a great lesson, right? You got to watch out. You had to pay a bunch of points. Your loan term was only 6 months. And how did you get your contractor, or were you acting as general contractor? And how did you get your contracts?
Yeah, so I actually, I was acting as my own GC. I had gone through and got my GC license because I was having issues finding general contractors wanting to take on such a large job. So I networked and found contractors, and I started meeting subcontractors, and I just started building this network of contractors I could call on to come do this job. And this wasn't just like a little job. This job that I took on originally, I thought we were going to put 90 grand into it. We bought it for 200. We're going to put 90 into it. We're going to sell it for 400,000 and make 60.
And it was just a single family home, right?
Yep, just a single family house, 2,800 square feet. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath. We were going to turn it into a 4-bed, 3-bath, and just I saw the money as like doing a high-end flip, not understanding my market at the time. So I was like, let's just do the biggest deal. Like, let's find something with the largest spread. So if we make mistakes, at least we can learn from it. And that was definitely the wrong mindset, but understanding that now versus then, I've learned a lot since then. And that's where I say, I was like more humiliated, because I was like, it was more emotion involved than there was actual numbers. So, but I pretty much just put my head down and went to work.
And so are you saying that what happened is that you over improved the house for your market, and it sat, or what's the story there?
So when we started, so we didn't over improve it. If anything, we hit it right on the, we hit it good. It was just my competence of estimating renovations was way off, and not having the proper contractors in the beginning, and having high interest loans, and just there's a lot of different factors there. But my renovation of $90,000, I was $90,000 into the deal before I even had drywall up. So, I mean, it was a 2,800 square foot house. It was a complete gut. It was new. I mean, we did everything to this place. I mean, we pretty much built a brand new house. So, what
was the story with the septic? Let me ask you, when you bought it in the beginning, your due diligence in the beginning, we'll keep mentioning the septic thing, which Ruby will tell us about in a second, but did that get missed in the beginning because there was no septic inspection? Or tell us the septic issue that compounded the issue.
So when I purchased the property, it was listed on the multiple listing service as sewer connected. And so this agent had listed this property for the bank and listed it as sewer connected because I guess you could do that. But
didn't know any better, didn't check. Or he probably did is they look at the last listing. Lots of agents look at the last listing if it was listed previously, and they just copy because the fields are all filled out, and they just copy it without probably double checking. That's a major mistake. If you're a broker and you're listening, don't do that.
Yeah. Definitely don't do that. But now our due diligence process is whether it's sewer connected or on a septic system, we're going to have the sewer pipe scoped and we're going to have the septic tested. That way we don't miss that. Or even for
you guys did not scope the sewer. You just rolled with it.
I just rolled with it. Cause I had asked somebody, I'm like, do you usually scope the sewer? And they're like, nah, that's not really that important. But finding out now, it's super important.
Super duper. Yeah. How did that all roll down then? So you then discover that you're on septic.
Yeah. So we discover we're on septic after I'm already 90 grand into this deal, trying to put this thing back in. There's no as-built for the septic. They're like, oh yeah, there's never been a septic recorded. So I was like, okay, what's going to happen? So they made us get a new design, and they made us install a brand new septic system to 2016 code at the time. And so we had to install a new septic system, and that septic system and that specific design, because of what it was and where it was at and the location, cost me 25 grand.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if you would have, it's probably was the parcel bigger, like had a big area, or could you have walked around and found the lids, the access to the septic?
So it was 3/4 of an acre. So it was just a little bit bigger of a lot. And the lids were actually poured underneath the concrete of the garage. So there was no finding this out. And so let me go back. There was actually one chamber with the actual lids underneath the concrete, because there was clean outs going to it that just we found in demolition. And when we ripped off the front porch, I noticed there was an open top to a tank. And I was like, oh, that must be the old septic system. And that's when I was like, oh, we should probably decommission it and figure it out. And then that's what got me. I had the contractor shove a hose down a pipe and run water to see if that was a holding chamber or something, or the sewer was connected to that. Just something kind of dumb. And that was when I figured out, oh crap, we're not on sewer, we're on a septic system.
Oh God.
So what's
crazy. It's crazy about this is all this. We're just, we got to teach some learning things here for everybody listening. All that could have been figured out if simply you would have done a sewer scope of what you thought there was a sewer for $250.
Absolutely.
Prior to purchasing the property, people, right?
Absolutely.
You don't know what you don't know. That's crazy. So it cost him, $25,000 instead of $250.
Yep. That would have been a good return on investment for sure.
Yeah. Crazy. Damn. So, okay. So you get it all. Did you have any trouble getting the sewer in? You got it all in, and then what happened on the deal? What was the final situation? Did you say you had to refinance out with a new hard money lender a couple times, or?
Yeah. So I had to refinance once because I had extended, I had extended 2 or 3 times, which had cost me, 2 or 3 points or 2 or 3% of the overall loan, to keep extending it. And after I had fixed the sewer or the septic and started getting the house back together, I got to a point where I was just in the drywall phase and everything was finally coming back together and the market was still red hot. I mean, we were October 2016. People will say it was probably slowing down then, but it was picking up for me. And so I refinanced. I found this other hard money lender who was local. His points were a little higher, but he allowed me to refinance out and it gave me the rest of the money to finish the project. So, my $90,000 renovation turned into a $180,000 renovation. But what I got the deal done after the refinance. And another lesson I learned is, I was trying to recoup as much money as I could in the end. So I listed my house too much and looked past the realtor's recommendation just because I wanted to make as much money as I could. But essentially that wasn't the better idea because, I have all this monthly holding cost and my property sat on the market for 3 months before we were able to get get an offer. But, that was including price cuts and other things like that.
Yep. Especially now with the market bouncing around, you guys, you definitely should have I think that people who are, do big time flips and, love their brand and as everybody should, and they work really hard and they've earned it. I think, what I see is a tendency for people to think my property's better than everybody else's and therefore, it's worth more. But that's why it's always good to involve a broker in the process, a third party, independent, unemotional, teammate, I'll say loose quotes teammate, because of, things like that happening, to stop you from having, too much pride. Not that your place, I'm sure, was absolutely gorgeous, right? But again, another however many months of holding costs, right there. So, you guys should all be involving the broker. If you're going to relist your own stuff, we're all friends here. Our investor community is so tight. I'm not just talking Seattle Investors Club. I'm talking all of us, all the clubs, all of us. It's an awesome place that we are here in Seattle. And if you're not in Seattle, we certainly have relationships all across the country with other real estate investors that we could hook you up with. So just ask. Shoot me, a note at julie@seattleinvestorsclub.com if you need help finding a community where you're at. But, I would help you anytime. We have conversations all the time, even if I had no part of the deal, no interest in the deal. And just because I love you, man, you know what I mean? And you guys don't be shy. Always get a second opinion, on your deals, just to be sure. So I'm not only going to help you, not hurt you. Because we all root for each other. And so, man, that's crazy. So did you make money or lose money on that deal?
I made a good amount of profit for my first deal. So like I said, when I first bought it, I thought we purchased it for $200. I thought we were going to put 90 into it and then we were going to sell it for $400 and do that in like a 6-month process. We bought it for $200. We put 180 into it, but I sold it for $565,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
you got a lift, you got a market lift,
yeah.
That's you were able to, a lot of people got their butt saved, back in, like you said, 2016 or so, 2017,
Yep.
People were doing bad deals. Okay. Still, but they were getting a lift due to the spiking in the crazy market that we're in. And then they erroneously thought it was them, that they, I'm just speaking in general here, that they thought that was the way it is, or that they didn't get to feel the full pain of that lesson. Maybe sounds like you did though, but, maybe some sleepless nights and things like that. But We're not in that market now, guys. So,
No.
that's not going to happen right now. Although, who the hell knows? It's so crazy here. There's still multiple offers happening, but I think for different reasons, if they're happening than they were back in 2016. But yeah, that is spectacular. But let me ask you, how did you get the funds? So you crushed it and it gave you your seed money to keep rolling and, kind of like got one that off the books. But how did you get the money to fund your equity portion? Well, you just needed, I guess, 10% on that deal, which was that like what? So 20 grand or 25 grand or something?
Yeah. So I drained my 401k. I pulled all my money from my 401k with the construction company I was working for, and I had about $42,000 to work with.
So you like took the hit on taxes and you put the profit back in there?
I took the hit on taxes. Like I said, lots of rookie mistakes. I didn't understand. I just understood that I have a deal. Let's put money into this deal and let's sell it and make profit. Now that I know like about taxes and about all this other stuff, I mean, there were
but you actually needed money to live off of. So, maybe, I'm not giving anybody tax advice or any type of advice on this little mini dive topic here, but, you did that. You took your little tax hit, which was not much, right? But and it launched you into the future of your life that you have now. If you would have invested and ran that deal back through your 401k, you wouldn't be, you wouldn't have any money to live off of. You'd still be in the same. Does that sound about right? You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
So there's all kinds of ways. There is no right answer. Everything about real estate investing, guys, is individual. Decisions are individual. Don't listen to podcasts and, go to meetups and listen to presentations and shit and think that means that's the way you need to do something. You need to have a mentor and a coach that you can sit down with individually with a collective team of people that are going to help you through this business to make decisions for yourself, because there is not one way that's right or one way that's wrong for everybody. So little side note on that. That is a good story though.
Yeah, it was a good one. I learned a lot from that one, and which kind of made me literally, all it took was one deal like that to make me understand how this business works. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but I mean, I shifted my mindset on the type of deals we focus on. I really got good at what my market is looking for, and just really, really stopped focusing on like these large spread deals, and kind of was like, okay, we can do these base hits because they'll make up for, that deal, that last deal we just talked about. I was estimating 6 months, and it actually took me 12 months and 1 day from purchase to sale. So, I mean, now I don't focus on these large deals, and I focus on more what my market wants.
Exactly. What's interesting? Somebody sent me a deal recently, and it had some, coming from kind of a service, I'll say, that helps people get deals or something like that. And it had a 3-month hold time on it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
No way.
A 3-month hold time? You want to tell me it's the easiest deal on the planet because all these contractors are lined up and we're going to help you with this and that? A 3-month hold time? I mean, I said, what are they going to do? Like, it was a, regular size kind of normal standard tackle over flip, but still, right? You guys got to do due diligence, like I said. And luckily that person checked in with me and or I'll say luckily or unluckily, because I said, don't do it. And I don't know if they did it or not anyways. I don't know if I even want to know, but you should always, like I said, check in with somebody.
Hey guys, it's Julie here with a quick break from the show to discuss an opportunity some of you may have interest in, which is to work more closely with me. On almost a daily basis, I get calls from investors and brokers, both new and experienced, asking me for guidance or advice. I love helping you guys out, and it keeps me on my toes too. So with that said, I wanted to let you know that I have a private broker coaching community called the VIP Education Community. And the best part is that it's 100% free. That's right, it's free to join. So whether you're a traditional broker or a broker investor, My VIP education community offers personalized one-on-one coaching from not just me, but also from my experienced broker friends with expertise in all disciplines of real estate and real estate investing. We'll teach and share our modern marketing strategies, our tech and lead generation resources, plus teach you how to identify or offer up opportunities for yourself or for your clients using techniques such as seller financing, lease options, land entitlement deals, BRRRR investing, flipping, multifamily or commercial coaching, whatever you like. We've got it all covered for you. The future of real estate is changing fast, and to stay in the game, it's time to learn about all the options you can offer your buyer and seller clients, as well as, if you want, learn how to use those skills to grow your own real estate portfolio. If you'd like more details about joining my VIP education community, reach out to me at julie@seattleinvestorsclub.com or text me at 206-910-2985 or just send me a Facebook message. My new favorite phrase is community equals confidence. So let's navigate the future of real estate together. Now, back to the show.
So that's a good story. What happened next? What'd you do after that with your funds? Now you're rolling.
Yeah. So, well, as I was doing that crazy one, I won't say if it was wise or not, but I had other deals going on at the same time. As far as I had another completely large flip like that, but it was more the price range of what the market was wanting. So I was able to take my knowledge I learned from that one and take into the next deals. And I completely rebuilt a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. I gutted it. I took the complete roof off and redid trusses. And I mean, we added square footage. We made it simple, and we sold that one off market to a guy who just happened to be walking by, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want for it?" And at the time, $250 was like max for that house. That house would sell for like $350 today.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, crazy, super crazy. But
so how did you get the funds for that deal then? Did you, again, your 401k money, because you hadn't sold the other one yet?
I was able to, so I had enough equity in my house, and I was able to go back to that hard money lender that I refied with, and I just did a second on my house as collateral, and he gave me all the financing.
So you didn't do a second on your house with a credit union or a bank. You did it with the hard money lender.
Yep, I used it with the hard money lender.
And guys, that is absolutely available to you. And who does that in our world is our friends at Flynn Family Lending. We've done a podcast not too long ago with Beth Johnson of Flynn Family Lending, Matt and Beth. If you guys do not have them on your direct dial team call list for those types of situations, if you have equity in your house, they specialize in that sort of thing and do seconds. And they work hand in hand with some of the other hard money lenders in town, which we love, everybody working together. But please go, Joe, maybe drop the Beth's podcast down there so people can get to know Beth as part of the process, because it sounds like maybe Ruby didn't tap into those guys, but somebody else that was able to help him continue to roll in his business by using the equity in his home. Again, is that the right thing for everybody? You got to sit down and you got to really analyze. You don't just do it because you can. Just because you can do something sometimes doesn't mean that you should. I just want to put that out there for everybody. Sit down and get a full consultation on your situation with a mentor or a coach or something. So, okay, so you kicked butt on that one. Yep,
we crushed that one. And then from there, I had actually taken a break from flipping because I was kind of in the rebuilding phase of like what I really wanted to do. I still wanted the real estate invest, but I absolutely hated to flip houses because of just my mentality at that time of that was super hard.
The first 2 deals that you made money on, even though the first one was probably traumatic.
Yeah, I was over it. I was just like, this sucks. But I
remember talking to you at that time, actually. I remember.
Yeah, I didn't do a flip for a year and a half. I didn't even look at a flip. I had switched my gears to wholesaling and wholesaling only because I was trying to build up my cash reserves, and I was trying to just rebuild my confidence because the contractors that I was working with at the time, we had falling outs, and it was just chaotic. So it was like, I need a break. I need a break from the chaos, but I need to still make money. So I was pretty good at talking with people and, learning from you guys and researching a couple marketing campaigns. And let's see, like Justin at Open Letter Marketing, like I used him for our marketing, and I saw he was on your podcast a little bit ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, his letters worked good for us, and we started wholesaling and making good money at wholesaling, and I was like, wow, this is way better than flipping. And then so I did that.
How many wholesale deals did you get done over that time? You had like a handful of deals, and
yeah, so learning from some mentors and learning from you guys, and I only took down wholesale deals. I only put deals under contract that made sense for me at the time. Like, meaning like if I couldn't find a buyer for that deal, I was closing on that deal and flipping that deal.
exactly.
So I was like, I didn't just put every deal under contract that I could, because you could definitely do that and you can make $1,000 here and $100 there. But that was a lot of work. And don't get me wrong, I did a couple of those deals because it was just, they were there, but I mainly focused on the ones where the spreads were really large. So if we took it down, we were going to make at the very least, 60 to 100 grand on the deal if we flipped it. So you were
trigger shy at the time, and you wanted to get the quick buck, faster money than having to slog through a rehab.
Yep. And the money was quicker, and just where I was at in my life, I'd rather just create the cash through wholesaling instead of holding up.
Do you still wholesale today?
Yep, absolutely. I still wholesale today, but in that 1 year taking a break from, or a year and a half of taking a break from flips, I had only done maybe nine or 10 wholesales, but each one of those wholesales, I averaged about $23,200 a wholesale.
Nice.
So I was more focused on giving good deals to my end buyer, and it helped that I had made a connection with somebody at the auction block. They were overpaying for properties at the auction, and I had given them my card, and I said, hey, look, I'm a wholesaler. This is what I do. And they became my number one buyer. And that person has made a lot of money from me. In return, I've made a lot of money from them.
There you go, guys. Tip, if you're getting started, or even if you're experienced and you're looking to, I can't tell you how many people call me these days, and they're looking to reinvigorate or pivot or, recharge their business, right? I don't know how active the auction market is these days, but I hear things are picking up with kind of like higher end bankruptcies, is a little whisper that I hear, where people who are in higher end homes actually and with good jobs are maxing out their credit cards and starting to have issues with that sort of thing. So just some rumblings there, but I don't know. Have you been doing any auctions up? What is it? Skagit auction where you'd be going?
Yep. I've bought in one property from auction, and I actually broke even on it. So it was a good deal. Wrong contractors again. And that was when I actually broke even on that deal after I decided, I'm like, maybe I'll try flipping a house again. And
somebody go to I haven't been to any auctions. If you guys have been to any auctions lately, either in Kings, Snohomish, or Pierce County, you probably don't want to share it because you think you got it all to yourself. But I don't know how active auctions are or what the deal flow is these days at auction. But maybe I'll check in on one of our mastermind groups here. I'll ask everybody today as I'm headed down to Burien to see all our friends. But awesome. So you wholesaled your way, stockpiled some cash, and you're still doing that today when you need to. What else? Yes. What happened after that? You got back into it, or what are you up to these days?
Yeah. So after I flipped another house and broke even on that, I was like, I just suck at flipping. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep wholesaling. And through the next, I've been investing for 4 years now. And the last year and few months, I've focused more on my relationship building with contractors, lenders, private money lenders, and other investors to just network and build my knowledge from learning from them. But what I'm doing today now is just I've made new partners. So I got my good buddies like Keikoa and Corey, like they're from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I have an LLC with them, and we flip deals together because they were better at flipping than I was. So I wanted to partner up with somebody, find a deal for them where they could kind of guide me through on how to flip properly. Even though I've made a bunch of money flipping, I still felt like creating partnerships would help me still grow and overall become like a better flipper, even though I could do it on my own. But I wanted to do more volume, and I wanted to see how other people were doing it.
And so, it's more fun to do it together.
Totally.
Honestly. That's how I roll too, same way. But I want to ask you a question. Why do you think you sucked at flipping? Like, what is it that you think where your skills were lacking that you've learned now hanging out with those guys that you've learned where you were missing something? Or in my opinion, community equals confidence. That's my new favorite phrase that I will use over and over again. And sometimes, you just need somebody to ride along or be next to you in order to, give you that mental stability and confidence. But what have you learned, or why do you think you sucked, and what did you suck at in regards to
trying to be the contractor's friend, looking at a relationship with the contractor versus a business relationship? My contractors, I made friends with, and would do stuff outside of contracting. Like we'd go fishing or bowling or whatever, and have dinner and I thought that was what was gonna really like get me the inside deals, which I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying
it makes it hard to penalize them or fire them or hold them accountable when you're
absolutely. And that's where it came down to, is like I became too much of a friend with them. Not saying you can't be friends with them, but I couldn't penalize them or hold them accountable. Therefore, when they would give me a bill that was too large, instead of just digging my heels and be like, no, man, look, we discussed this, we agreed upon that, I was like, yeah, I see where the extra work came in. And so that's why I'd be a terrible property manager. I have too much sympathy for people, and I just can't. I don't think that's my stronghold. My stronghold is networking, communicating, building relationships.
Awesome, because I 100% agree with you. You are the most charismatic, awesome guy. I mean, look at Joe and I both independently, like making our notes about how much we love you and how much of a great guy that you are. And wow, I find this very, very, very insightful, what you're sharing with us here today, because it goes back to everyone paying attention to what they're good at, what they're comfortable with, and where they can contribute the most. You don't have to contribute the money. You don't have to contribute swinging the hammer. You can contribute the deal. You can contribute your time. You can contribute your, now you have a real estate license, and that contributes. There are so many different ways. Maybe that's a great video topic I should do. You just gave me a good idea on the different ways. I mean, I've actually done those videos before, but I did them so long ago. That would require me to spend time to go dig them out. But, very, very valid, everybody. Where do you fit in? What skills do you naturally have that you can bring to the table to partner with somebody who needs those opposite skill sets or complementary skill sets? Very, very good lesson, and very good introspective. And you're mature. It's crazy how mature. You think you're probably down on yourself about stuff here and there, but boy, have you made some great pivotal decisions for yourself just simply out of mature decisions in your life. And I think of it like blackjack. I had some of my teammates down in Las Vegas a couple months ago, and we were all out for the evening, and I wanted to do something nice for them. And so we sat down at a blackjack table, about 5 of us or however many there were, I can't remember. And nobody really played blackjack that much. We had some poker players and some other type of gambling addicts with us. But I gave them each $100 and said, go for it. And we sat down, in 10 minutes, I think we had gotten up by like $350 or $400. And one of the guys said, we should probably stand up right now. But, none of us would have done it. And he made a mature suggestion, and we all stood up, and guess what? Paid for our whole night out on the town together. and we had a wonderful time. And
That's awesome.
I think, having that ability, that's a skill set right there, brother, the ability to make mature decisions for yourself. So I think you're teaching everybody something here today just by being who you are and yourself and sharing all this with us, which is super rad. So tell us about the greatness of your life right now. What are you working on? What are you guys up to? How's your real estate license helped you out?
Yeah. So like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I got to fly out to Vegas on tomorrow night. So I won't be able to make the Christmas party with Tarl and everybody. But Keikoa, he's found a couple deals down there, and we partnered up on deals down there. And so we're just going to check up on them and actually just get away for a little bit and regroup. And so I got that going on in Vegas. I have a couple other partnerships with, like I said, I struggle with contractors. So who did I find as my next partner? I found a contractor. I actually found two of them. One's a builder and one's a contractor. Both are very experienced in the building world. And so the three of us, we have our own investing LLC where we're buying up property and we're demolishing houses and we're rebuilding brand new houses, but instead of to sell them, we're actually building them to hold them. So we're just pretty much do the BRRRR strategy, but we're gonna build instead of remodel. And
up in Skagit.
Yep, up in Skagit. We're in the process of building 2 duplexes, 6 single family houses, and working on 3 manufactured homes.
Awesome. And how'd you guys get the financing for all that?
All private money. We have all private money involved in these deals, and it was just all connections that actually private money and seller financing. I learned the power of how to acquire seller financing, and those guys ultimately became my private money lenders as well.
Man, I might invite you to a private meeting at my house. I have a private coaching community that you would be awesome to come give us a presentation of your deals, how you did it. Would you be up for that if I bought you lunch and invited you over to talk to my smartest friends?
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, I actually have somebody I should introduce you guys to in Vegas because I have a rock star broker, kind of broker investor minded like me that I trained down there. He's a fantastic broker, taught him the whole investor side. And Joe and I, we had run our SIC kind of a wholesaling business down there with this guy. So when we jump off, I'll follow up with you and introduce you to Dave. And maybe while you guys are down there, you could say, hi, you're going to love this guy. He maybe bring you some deals too, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Good stuff. Well, man, I know I'm going to see you over this holiday season sometime. And I can't wait to get some more personal time with you, but I am super stoked to catch up and, hear how great you're doing and that you're keeping on kicking. And I know that you guys are just going to kill it. But tell me real quick, what's the capital thing that Keikoa and those guys are doing? And I hope you need to nudge him because we're going to a mutual party, I think, and nudge him in a couple weeks, if you know what I'm talking about, that he's invited to, that hopefully he'll show up to. But what's up with the capital thing they're doing? Yeah,
so I know a little bit about it. So it's Keiko Capital. They're a new hard money lender that Corey, Alex, Keikoa, and Scott. Those are the main guys that I talked to over there. We've done a few deals using that, but they're a really good competitive hard money lender, and just honestly get the job done. Their rates and terms are solid, and they're my partners outside of Keiko Capital. So, I mean, they're like my closest friends, but they do a good job. I highly recommend checking out.
Those guys are fun. We're trying to get Keikoa on the podcast here as well. So maybe you can help us nudge him, unless Joe's already talked to him, since we kind of divide and conquer in those job titles there. But so awesome. Well, all right, guys. Hopefully you have gotten to see why we love our buddy Ruby here today. and that you've picked up some nuggets of information, some do's, some don'ts, and how important relationship building is, and, how maybe sometimes considering to partner up could be a better choice than trying to conquer and do everything on your own. I can tell you for sure from my standpoint that it is way more fun to work with other people and be able to celebrate and ride the roller coaster of our real estate business together. And so, hey, if you guys want to come meet other investors and have the opportunity to network and maybe find that partner, or that, could be a one-off deal partner, it could be a long-term relationship, you should join us at our weekly mastermind and coaching sessions, our hangout sessions that we have. It is Tuesday today when we're recording this. So after this, I'll be jumping down to Burien. We have one in Burien every single Tuesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at Angelo's at 601 Southwest 153rd Street in Burien. Every Tuesday, 12 to 2. No topic. We come. The conversation is different every week. Everybody contributes to it. You don't have to RSVP. All experience levels come. And it is amazing how the people who are inexperienced contribute just as significantly to the people that are. We have one in Redmond every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Family Pancake House off Redmond Way. That's a good one up there for all you East Siders. And the second Tuesday of every month, actually tonight, Ruby, we have a meetup up there in Burlington hosted by my friend Julia Phillip. Maybe you can join her sometime, I hope, Ruby, up at Bob's Burgers and Brews. One's actually tonight from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that is the second Tuesday of every month that we have one, because we got a request to start accommodating our friends up there in Skagit County. And soon, if we can nail down our location, we will be kicking off one in both the Tacoma area as well as maybe towards the Linwood, Everett type of area. So stay tuned for that. But Joe, other than that, hope to see you guys all at one of those meetups. You guys I'm here for you all the time. You just reach out to me at julie@seattleinvestorsclub.com or hit me up on my cell phone. I think that's easy to find. But happy holidays, everybody. And Joe, where can I get the details about today's podcast?
Heck yeah, you can get everything that we've talked about today, including links to all of the good stuff at seattleinvestorsclub.com/94. That's seattleinvestorsclub.com/94. And if you enjoy this podcast, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you really enjoy it, we'd love to get a review from you on iTunes or wherever you are listening to this show.
Good stuff, brothers.
Awesome.
All right, over and out till next time, everybody, and hope you have a wonderful holiday, or had one, because you probably listened to us. It's over already. So peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Seattle Investors Club podcast. If you have questions that you'd like to have answered on the show, shoot us an email at info@seattleinvestorsclub.com. Now go out, take that action, and build that real estate business. Thanks for listening.